The worst enemy to creativity is self-doubt. Similarly, the worst enemy to peace is inner conflict. The first line was uttered by Sylvia Plath, and the second was by Heena Dhvani. So whenever, just like you, me too, we all have doubts, conflicts, I feel we should accept them. Let's not fight. But then after some time, we should kick them and say that I know my life's plan and life is fair with me. Yes? On this note, let's begin today's session. Well, MP said practice test, you know it, and today's few questions I have taken from our multiple choice question answer book called QPAT 4, QPAT 5 actually. Well, as you know, we have total 8 such books of multiple choice question answers. This is one of them. It will help you immensely with your NET exam as well as SET exam. Okay. Well, to order these books, or to have an online course with Kalyani ma'am and to have a detailed knowledge about all the topics, you can contact TES on 93878-39871. Let's begin today's session on a happy note, on a positive note. Nahi aata hai to bhi kya hua? Discuss karenge aur seekhenge, right? Let's move on. Question number 1. In his classical manual, Bharata Muni enumerates to drama how many rasts? Option A, 10, B, 9, C, 8, or D, 7. You know it, yeah? It is option C, 8. Well, in chapter 6 of Natya Shastra, Bharat Muni talks about the ras theory. People call it rasa theory also, but then I think we should call it ras. Ras actually means juice or essence. Now, what does this ras theory say? It says that the primary goal of any artistic performance is to transport the audience to a parallel reality of wonder and bliss, right? And here, ras means the aesthetics or the essence of a performance. Now, Bharat Muni told that there are 8 types of ras, and each ras evokes a mood, right? I have given the names of all 8 ras, but then if you count, you will say, ma'am, it is 9. Of course, it's 9 because the last ras called as Shant that was later added by Abhinav Gupta. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Here it is. Robert Frost got the Pulitzer Prize how many times? A, 5, B, 4, C, 3, or D, 2? The answer is option B, 4. Look at Mr. Frost on the screen. I would like to tell you all the 4 works. He got the first prize for his book New Hampshire, second for collected poems, third for his poem called A Further Range, and fourth for his poem called A Witness Tree. Good enough? Aage badhe, question number 3 pe. Which of the following works is not a tragi-comedy? Option A, Waiting for Godot. B, The Caretaker. C, The Cherry Orchard. Or D, The School for Scandal. Not a tragi-comedy. It is option D, The School for Scandal. It is a comedy of manners, a play written by Sheridan and first performed in the year 1777. Done? Question number 4. Lyrical Ballads was published in the year option A 1785, B 1798, C 1789, or D 1770. You know it. It is option B 1798. Look at the cover. Lyrical Ballads with a few other poems, right? Well, it is a collaborative work of Wordsworth and Coleridge. Yes? Question number 5. The oldest method of qualitative research is option A, creative writing, B, oral history, C, interview method, or D, visual methodologies. The oldest method of qualitative research is option B, oral history. Well, oral history means when we research through recorded interviews between a narrator and an interviewer. Here, the narrator has personal experiences of that significant historical event, and the interviewer records them. Okay, let's move on. Question number 6. Antonio Gramsci said, hegemony, option A, can be imposed by those in power in such a way as to make those beneath them feel they have a free choice. B. Hegemony means how dominant groups maintain their power. C. Hegemony reflects a socialist view. Or D. Option A and B both are correct. Think. It is option D. Both A and B are correct. Look at Antonio Gramsci. मेरे को तो इनकी शक्ल बड़ी जानी पहचानी लग रही है. Let's talk about him. He was an Italian Marxist philosopher, lived from 1891 to 1937. His notable idea was that of cultural hegemony, in which he said the ruling class uses hegemonic ideas to gain domination over the subjugated classes, not by force, but by consent. Imagine, by consent, you're ruling somebody. I think the easiest example of hegemony in today's time is mass media. Don't you think so? Let's move on. Question number 7. Johnson's phrase, Fatal Cleopatra, refers to Shakespeare's option A, neglect of unities, B, fondness of puns, C, fondness for similes, or D, love of illusion. Fatal Cleopatra. Well, that refers to option B, fondness of puns. And in which book did Johnson say it? In his famous one, the critical piece called Preface to Shakespeare, published in 1765, where he has criticized and celebrated Shakespeare's works. Right? Let's move on. Question number 8. The works in a materialist way, a theory of literary production, reading capital, the object of literature are related to. Your options are A, Umberto Eco, B, Raymond Williams, C, Pierre Bourdieu, or D, Pierre Mecqueray. These works are associated with option D, Pierre Mecqueray. Well, Pierre Mecqueray, you know, is a French post-structuralist and a Marxist philosopher. And his works are very helpful in literary theory as well as continental philosophy in Europe. Look at him. He is alive, still with us. Yeah? Let's move on. Question number 9. Which of the following is not an allegorical character in the play Everyman? Your options are A, discretion, B, strength, C, Christian, or D, kindred. Come on, which one is not a character? You know it. It is option C, Christian. Come on, Christian was a major character, the protagonist of the Pilgrim's Progress. Now, the Summoning of Everyman, that is a complete title. It is a 15th century morality play. Here, every man represents mankind. He tries to convince all these allegorical characters like discretion, strength, kindred to come with him, you know, with the hope of finding something good. But then nobody is interested. And then in the end, every man realizes that when you face death, you are all alone. All you are left with are your good deeds. Okay? Chale, good deed ke baare mein sochte hue to question number 10, halfway done after this. The phrase poetic justice to designate the idea that virtue is rewarded and vice punished was devised by. Your options are A, Aristotle, B, Ben Jonson, C, John Dryden, or D, Thomas Rhymer. Poetic justice phrase was given by option D, Thomas Rhymer. Okay. In the 17th century, Rhymer said that a work of literature should uphold moral principles and instruct moral behavior to the audience. Okay. अच्छाई की जीत बुराई की हार ये है poetic justice मेरे यार. Question number 11 देखिए. In More's Utopia, the second name of the fictional character Raphael Hythloday means dispenser of option A, mercy, B, grace, C, nonsense, or D, justice. Hythloday means dispenser of what? Obviously C, nonsense. You know it, right? This is a socio-political satire by Thomas More, Utopia. It's in 2 books. And Hythloday in this is a historical explorer who keeps on talking about a utopian place where people are this, that, a perfect place. But that utopia is no place because such a place does not exist. That is why Hythloday means dispenser of nonsense. Bakar, bakar, bakar. Question number 12. Identify the work which is not a prose essay. A. Essay of dramatic poesy. B. An essay concerning human understanding. C. An essay on man. Or D. An essay towards a new theory of vision. Which of this is not a prose essay? It is option C, an essay on man. Actually, it is a poem by Alexander Pope. लिखते हैं ऐसे लेकिन होती है poem. Okay, chale, question number 13 pe. The aspects of Dhvani propounded by Anandavardhana are A. Abhida, B. Abhida and Lakshan, C. Abhida and Vyanjan, or D. Abhida, Lakshan and Vyanjan. The aspects of Dhvani, they are option D. Abhida, Lakshan, and Vyanjan. A little bit about them. Well, Abhida, means denotation. Denote, when the words denote what they say. For example, I'm going to sleep. Mango is a fruit. Okay, that is Abhida. Lakshan means implication, when you imply something. For example, she has a heart of gold. Here, gold implies what? Generosity or kindness. So this is Lakshan. While Vyanjan means suggestion. Easiest example, I told my mother to wake me up at 8. Now, what is 8? Is it 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.? Suggestion, right? That's it. Question number 14. Which of the following is not included in larger containing structure by the structuralist critics to analyze prose narratives? Okay, when the structuralists analyze prose narratives, what is it which is not included? Option A, the convention of a particular literary genre. This is included. B, a notion of a narrative as a complex of recurrent patterns or motifs. This is included? Yes. C, a network of intertextual connections. Included? Yes. Option D, a series of random comments on narrative arranged alphabetically. This is not included. So the answer is option D. I told you, I didn't want to repeat the options again in the answer. Let's move on to question number 15. Which woman novelist wrote Frankenstein in 1818? ये तो rhyme हो गया. Option A, George Eliot. B, Charlotte Bronte. C, Mary Shelley. Or D, Mrs. Elizabeth Gaskell. Frankenstein, obviously written by Mary Shelley. Look here, the cover. Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus in 3 volumes. It's a Gothic novel. And do you know, Shelley wrote it when she was very young, probably 18 years old. Such a Dharavna novel, no? Let's move on. Question number 16. Who among the following is not a graveyard poet? Option A, Thomas Parnell. B, Alexander Pope. C, Robert Blair. Or D, Edward Young. You know it. It is option B, Alexander Pope. Well, Pope's poetry is sarcastic and discursive, but these graveyard poets or churchyard poets, as they were called, their poetry is gloomy, Baba. Why? It is full of skulls, coffins, worms. There is a graveyard. No, let's move on. Question number 17. Match the following works with their authors. Now, the works are the playwrights are Euripides, Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Virgil. And the works are Orestes, Eclogues, Medea, and Antigone. Who has written what? Think and tell. The answer is option B. So basically, Euripides wrote Medea. Aeschylus wrote Orestes. Sophocles, he wrote Antigone, while Virgil wrote Eclogues. Eclogues is poem and the rest are plays. Okay, chale aage. Question number 18 ki taraf. The aim of the satires of Dash was to laugh people out of their follies. Options are A, Horace, B, Juvenal, C, Dryden, or D, Pope. Easy, right? Horatian satires, to laugh, has ke datna. So the answer is option A, Horace. Question number 19. Samuel Beckett's The Trilogy was published together in London in 1959 under the English titles as, listen to the three names of the books properly, okay? Which three books form the trilogy of Samuel Beckett? A. More Pricks Than Kicks, Murphy and Molloy. Option B. Molloy, Malone Dies, and the Unnameable. Option C. Molloy, Murphy, Malone Dies. Or option D. The Unnameable, More Pricks Than Kicks, or Murphy. Tell me, don't be confused. Just tell me the three novels in the trilogy. Well, it is option B. Molloy, Malone Dies, and the Unnameable. Look here at the cover. I'll tell you a few fun facts, okay? Why Beckett actually belongs to the theater of the absurd. In Molloy, the first paragraph is 2 pages long, while the second paragraph is 80 pages long, 80 pages for one paragraph. Oh God. Now, Malone Dies. It contains a very famous line, which is, nothing is more real than nothing. While the Unnameable, well, here the narrator's body is curled up, like in a fetal position. He is unnameable, immobile, and speaks in disjointed monologues. Absurd, right? That's Beckett for you. And the last question of the day. D.H. Lawrence's Cocksure Women and Hensure Men, the anti-feminist work, is an example of dash essay. Option A, an informative essay. B, a narrative essay. C, an argumentative essay. Or D, a descriptive essay. This work by Lawrence comes under the category of option C, argumentative essay. It was written by Lawrence in the 1920s as a response against women's rights to vote. Anti-feminist, yeah? Because Lawrence offered an analogy of hen in a farmhouse to support his claim. And he categorized women into two, demure and dauntless. Now, demure are the non-rebellious ones, while dauntless are the rebellious ones. That is Lawrence's Cocksure Women and Hensure Men. And this brings us to the end of today's session. I hope you liked it. I hope that you're taking notes and reading extra and listening to all the videos of Kalyani ma'am. I love them and I know so do you. Thank you so much for being with me. I shall be back again with more such question answers. Bye.